If you're hearing this, the quarantine failed. This recording isn't for rescue teams. It isn't for the military. It's for the next poor soul who thinks they can survive this city. You can't, not forever. And if you hear screaming after sunset, don't run toward it, because that's exactly what I did. 3 days ago, I thought the infected were the biggest threat. Slow, mindless, predictable. You could outrun them, hide from them, even fight them if you had enough stamina. I started believing I understood this city. That was my first mistake. The rooftops became my home. The streets belonged to the dead. From above, everything almost looked normal. The wind, the abandoned buildings, the silence. Sometimes I'd forget the world had ended, until I'd hear a car alarm echo through the city and watch hundreds of infected flood the streets below, like blood rushing through veins. I found another survivor today. At least, I thought I did. He was waving from an apartment window, yelling for help. When I climbed 6 floors to reach him, the room was empty. No food, no supplies, just a radio, still repeating one sentence. Please help me. Over, over again. I don't know how long it had been playing. People always tell you to avoid the streets at night. No one explains why. They just say, stay inside. I ignored them. I thought they were exaggerating. Then the sun disappeared. The city changed. It wasn't just darker. It felt alive. The rooftops I'd crossed all week suddenly felt exposed. Every shadow looked like it was breathing. Then, I heard it. Not a scream, not a growl, a heartbeat. Fast, getting closer, but it wasn't mine. I looked behind me. Nothing. Then I looked up. Something moved across the rooftops faster than anything I'd ever seen. I froze. It stopped too, watching me, waiting. Then the chase began. I've never run that fast in my life. I don't even remember jumping between buildings. I only remember falling, climbing, slipping, hearing those screams getting closer every second. At one point, I almost looked back. I'm glad I didn't. Some things you shouldn't see. I made it to a safe zone just before sunrise, or at least, I think I did, because when I checked the door, it was already open. The lights were still on. Breakfast was sitting on the table, still warm, but everyone was gone. No blood, no struggle, just gone. I've stopped trying to understand this city. The infected aren't the only things hunting people here. Sometimes, the city feels like it wants to keep us. Like every rooftop, every alley, every abandoned apartment is waiting for one more survivor to disappear. If you're listening to this recording, stay off the streets after dark. If someone calls your name, don't answer. If an apartment looks untouched, don't go inside. And whatever you do, if the rooftops suddenly become quiet, because something already knows where you are,